What's shaking, YouTubeites? Welcome to Lords of the Long Box presents the CovrPrice comic book shakers of the week. Do you notice something unique about the panel this week? It's a bit shiny, I guess you could say. Welcome to Three Bald Men and TiVo presents the Lords of the Long Box presents the CovrPrice Top 10. Shout out to everybody in the live chat while you guys are congregating. I do believe you guys asked for some music. Who am I to say no? So while you guys are congregating, just say the word. Oh, yeah. What is shaking, YouTubeites? Welcome to the Thursday offer list. Although I think you got a good chance of getting one, maybe two. I will say there is a six-figure book on today's list, which blew my mind. And our man from Amsterdam, back from the great abyss, Otto, say it was good to the people.
What is good, everybody? Happy to join all my follically challenged brothers and my man with a full head of hair TiVo tonight. What's good, everybody? Glad to see everybody. I'm glad I could join in tonight.
Yeah, Bolo, say what's good to the people.
That's right, the bald brethren in the building. You know, I love the comments. Great to see. Excited about the list. Yo, this might be the list where I have the most amount of books I may have ever had doing this show. So I'm kind of excited. I can't wait to kind of like rub that in a bit.
Bolo straight flexing already. All right.
I'm telling you, I'm taking offers most weeks, so I'm here this week.
Hey, speaking of offers, Gabe loves 90s comics. Say what's up, Gabe.
Speaking of offers, we all look like giant goose eggs here with our shiny bald heads.
So, I know. I feel like I'm with the Watchers. I'm the only one that like I'm like Stan Lee when he was with the three Watchers on the moon. But you guys' head aren't that big, so you know you got that going for you. So
eternally, everybody, really that big. This is gonna be a hot list too, everybody. So watch out.
So hey, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, like the video. You know, when we hit 8,000 subs, we're gonna give away some crazy stuff. I noticed subs have been been trickling lately, so let's bump that up, guys. Sub up if you haven't. If you're on the podcast that listens on the Rewind, we go live every Thursday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific. The show is sponsored to us by our good friends over at CovrPrice.com. Sign up for your price guides, collections, and trends, movers and shakers, and of course the top 10 list. The show is also sponsored by our friends over at KRSComics.com. Use the discount code of LOTLB to save yourself some McRib money. Yes, they do have something dropping tomorrow at noon Pacific, or excuse me, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, and Jack is back. Look at this incredible cover. This is Tech, I think 1050. This is the Will Jack cover. Look at how gorgeous that is, man. So Tech 1050. So make sure you check out KRS Comics. Set your alarms, your clocks, whatever you got to do. Noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. It drops tomorrow. That is Friday. Okay. They also had this Clayton Crane, but man, this is gorgeous. I really dig in Will Jack's style, man. A lot more cats doing this kind of almost photorealistic style. So, as always, the show let's talk about it, man. This show basically comes from our friends at CovrPrice, focusing on new sales or the most interesting sales found on their exclusive daily Shakers list. This just changes several times a day. So make sure you check it out every day to reveal some of the hottest trending books on the market. We didn't say who was going to go what, so I'll just pick it out. Gabe, you go first. Otto, you go second, and Jack, you go. Let me see. There's one on here that I think you should do. So let me see which one that is. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. I think it's 6. So third is perfect.
All right. So Gabe's going to start it off with the Shakers list and see what's shaking today. If you haven't over it, don't feel bad. A lot of us will. Also, before we get started. I'll bring this up later. All right, but let's kick it out. Let's kick things off. This is an alphabetical order, by the way, so there's no high sale or anything like this. So we just put them alphabetical. So what's up first, Gabe?
All right, so today we got our first Silver Age book. We're looking at Amazing Spider-Man number 16, way back in that Silver Age of 1964. This issue marks the first meeting between Spider-Man and Daredevil. In it, the evil ringmaster has put Spidey under a hypnotic spell, forcing him to battle it out with Daredevil beneath the big top. Although considered one of the more important Silver Age ASM books, it was still impressive to see a record $20,000 sale for a CGC 9.6 this week. More than doubling the previous record high in that grade. It's clear Spidey fans are still hot to trot for these early Spider-Man issues. And we all know right now a big trend is those first meetings. So we know this is going to be a part of that kind of trend, all these first meetings going on these days.
Yeah, this is wow. I mean, all these Amazing Spider-Man like 1 through 50, typically all the Rogues galleries are the expensive ones, but this is one of the ones where I don't think it's the first appearance of the Ringmaster. If it is, nobody really cares, but it's the first meeting of Daredevil in his old golden suit. I dig that suit, man. I hope they bring that back if they ever do it. Although it's not very stealthy, right? I mean, if you're bright yellow flying through the air at night, I don't know how that's going to work out, but it works out for Moon Knight. I mean, he's basically wearing on all off-white suits. We'll see how that works. So number 1 on the list is Amazing Spider-Man number 16 from 1964 for a cool $20,000. $20,000. All right. All right, next up, what do we got for the next one on the list, Otto? You're muted. You muted yourself.
I'm muted, man. I can't believe this. I can't even do this.
Gotta love Otto every single time.
Man. That's it. But listen, 1995 goodness, Blade the Vampire Hunter number 8. This only lasted 10 issues. Due to its scarcity, the first issue has been pricey since Blade was first rumored to appear in the MCU, selling for a fair market value of $71 raw and $510 at a 9.8. The last 4 issues, 7 to 10, are also climbing in value. For example, number 8 sells for a fair market value of $31 raw and hit an all-time high of $625 for a CGC 9.8 just last week. Why the high price? It's the only 9.8 in the census of only 6 copies graded. Oh, my God. On the listing, the seller claimed it was the only modern cover featuring 2 characters. While this isn't true, as they're together on the 2010 one-shot Blade, The Curse of the Mutant number 1, which is a great cover, and the upcoming Morbius number 7 from 2022. With that said, it's one of the few and could be a great book to pick up, man. This book people have been showing us. They're out there.
Yeah, in particular, Matrix Comics, who actually sold this one, and I remember him posting about it and complaining. And I hope you feel bad about yourself because now, look, you're on. Your book is on here. I'm just kidding, man. You know, hey, sometimes it takes time, man. So, but congratulations to Matrix Comics for selling this bad boy for $625. Who would have thunk this just a few years ago, right? I mean, kind of
This
nuts.
is wild.
I mean, definitely dollar bin fodder for a long time, right? I meant, so congratulations to Matrix Comics. And we didn't do this out of guilt, you know, so it just takes time, man. But I hope you appreciate it. So right now I'm going to boot you out of the live chat. No, I'm just kidding. So, all right. So Blade the Vampire Hunter, issue number 8 from 1995. Holy cow, 625 in a 9.8. Congratulations to you, man. All right, what do we got up next? Oh, here we go. Get ready for this. This is going to blow your minds. Get ready for a giant offer.
Yeah, this is big boy book time. We're talking Crime Does Not Pay, number 24 from Lev Gleason in 1942. How brutal is this cover? This is a perfect example of why pre-code horror truly deserved censoring back in the mid-century. While this cover alone is enough to generate demand, this issue also features the first appearance of Mr. Crime, who is considered to be the first comic book anthology narrator. Mr. Crime was never seen by the characters in the stories. He was a special being that was there only to push the characters by whispering in their ears into committing an evil act. This week, the hard-to-find PCH cover sold for a new high sale of $102,000. That's right, $102,000 for a CGC 9.4 on Heritage, shattering the last high of $21,600 for a 9.0 in 2018. Seriously, buy pre-code horror like today.
Amazing. We were just talking about a book from 1942 in a 9.4. Then you think about, remember that Action Comics that was what was it, 9.0 or something crazy like that? But yo, crazy. $102,000. James, do you have this on your list, King to Golden State? Man, I'm just kidding, man. But that is nuts, man. Crime Does Not Pay, issue number 24, 9.4 for $102,000. I mean, we don't say where it was bought from, but can you just imagine, you know, I would say at auction, even the fees you would have to pay for a book that sells for $102,000, still worth it. But, you know, good Lord, that is amazing.
Well, yeah, I mean, that one said it was bought at Heritage. So Heritage, you're looking at
what, big 30%, right?
Yeah. And then there's a huge buyer's premium too, as well, for the person who bought this.
Yeah, so hey, but you know, hopefully they bought it for really cheap and they still ended up on top. But wait till the taxman calls at the end of the year is what I can say. All right, so Crime Does Not Pay, issue number 24, Lev Gleason Comics from 1942, 9.4 for $102,000. That is literally down payment for a house. Well, in California at least. Other places you can buy straight out buy a house, but that's definitely a 10% down payment in.
That's a most brutal cover too. That doesn't happen to people like us who don't have hair, so we're okay.
There you go. Right. So you're just talking about me basically here as I show the panel. There we go. Look at those big, bald, beautiful heads on these fellas. All right. What do we got up next?
All right, coming up next is Crow number 1 from Caliber Press 1989. We've been talking about Crow on the show lately, so something's going on. The Crow is simply one of those Bronze Age characters that defy comic laws, trapped in an infinite loop of content hell. This is one of those properties begging for a streaming show. Despite nothing currently in development, it's been skyrocketing in a massive way for the past 2 years, culminating this week's all-new high sale from Heritage at a massive $18,000 for a 9.8, obliterating the highest sale of $3,236 for a 9.8 in 2020. Just a shocking sale that makes us realize how important it is to focus more on some of these Bronze Age independent keys.
Yeah, can you imagine this book trying to get it in 9.8 all black cover? I mean, good Lord. But
it's so tough.
One of the most underrated comic book movies ever with Brandon Lee. Rest in peace, Brandon Lee. But that was an actual great movie.
Perfect movie. Perfect movie.
Another thing to keep an eye on the publishing side is a lot, basically all of the licensed properties that are currently on IDW are making moves in their contracts going into 2023. And I expect to see some sort of announcement surrounding The Crow at some point this year. I think that will get some added attention on the comics. Could see a bump depending on what a new launch, the success of it, could bring.
Yeah, this is almost one of those unenviable tasks to be cast as the Crow, right? Because Brandon Lee was such iconic in that, he kind of stepped out of the shadow of being Bruce Lee's son when he did that film, and just absolutely killed it. Yeah. Was really different for its time. It was dark, and it was,
just a tragedy behind him being killed on the set accidentally. We've seen that recently in today's news.
Yeah. And I mean, how rare is it to have live rounds on a set? It's not like that movie Rust is, obviously a really tragic example, but it happened to Brandon Lee. And then you just think about the curse of the Lee family, his father and him dying. It's kind of sad. They were both in literally their prime when they passed away. So, man, The Crow #1. I've always wanted this book, but I don't think I'll be able to get it now, at least in a 9.8. All right, so The Crow #1 from CovrPrice, 1989, 18 grand for 9.8. Hey, I finally got one on the list. What's next? Yeah, you muted yourself again, Otto. You muted yourself, Otto.
God darn it. Here we go. Tim, you're screwing me on this because I'm going to have a hard time saying this. This is the Edge of Spider-Verse #2, the Saya Oum 5th print. The comic bug color, limited only to 3,000. Came out in 2014, and due to the very loose rumors of Sony developing a Spider-Gwen film, her key issues and variants are rapidly increasing. This first print, the Edge of Spider-Verse 2, recently jumped to a fair market value of $1,100 for a 9.8, to now where it hit an all-time new sale last week of $2,040. One of the books that joined it on its rise is this comic bug exclusive, which is listed as the 5th print in the Indica, I guess. It's sold by the Los Angeles Comic Shop during Free Comic Book Day in 2014, limited to 3,000 copies, with the black and white version limited to 1,500 copies. This week, the color version hit a high of $1,160 for a CGC 9.8, and the black and white hit a new high of $675. These are both considerable increases and should definitely keep on going. They're only going to grow. So
yeah. So sorry, the graphic is incorrect, but the price is correct. It is 11C, and Indica is something totally different, Otto, than Indica.
Yeah,
it's into sativa.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Indica is what there's a totally different connotation with paper and indica. So it's I believe it's indica, basically. And I have this one for the longest time. I was like, man, maybe it'd be worth something to see subsequent reprints. But for when Edge of Spider-Verse 2 really first came out, there was a few reprints that nobody really, they paid a little bit more. But man, I'm trying to break this out and go and get it slabbed, man. This
one was sitting around for a while. This was available. You could have got your hands on this for a few years without paying too much more than what was originally asked at the shop. So this was a sleeping giant. It was only a matter of time before it took off. This one has ridden that late print movement. Also, I think exclusive variants have gotten an increased kind of attention on the secondary market, starting to get a bit more respect.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my Phantom variants and Ghost variants to go up. Remember, they were like one of the first online retailers to do variants. And I think it's a Silk one or Edge of Spider-Verse one where it's an homage to ASM 300. And it was like, I think it's a Ghost variant because I remember they had a really cheesy logo of a ghost at the bottom of it. So, so next on the list is Edge of Spider-Verse #2, the Saya Oum 5th print comic bug color variant, only limited to 3,000. So you're doing good if you got that. So I'm one down out of these, so at least I scored one. All right, I think Jack may have this one.
Yeah, I think I may have that. That picture looks a little familiar, as a matter of fact. But this is the Invincible #1 Tyler Kirkham Whatnot Omni-Man gold foil exclusive variant, limited to 150. Originally produced by Image in 2013. This came out in 2021. And we've noticed that Tyler Kirkham, Whatnot, Invincible #1 variant on a previous list. That covers featured the bloody and beaten Mark Grayson, aka Invincible, on the cover, as he has steadily sold for high prices across covers. Well, Skybound, Whatnot, and Tyler Kirkham partnered again to produce an Omni-Man set of covers, which is once again selling for big numbers. The rarest cover, the gold foil, is limited to 150 copies and sold for a new high sale of $1,700 for a raw copy this week.
Cough, cough. I think I'm supposed to be expecting one in the mail.
Yeah, my name's on the back of it, so I was looking for one eventually.
You know,
Nice.
I'm not going to throw any names around, Jack, but I do believe I was promised one. But, checks in the mail, as they say, right?
Yes, as they say. But, hey, listen, the check might be getting better. You can read the tea leaves here. We've partnered, certainly. I work for Whatnot, for those who are not aware. And we partnered with Skybound pretty deeply. This is obviously the second book. Kind of may have a series going here. So, there may be more coming. But this has been a kind of exciting to see Omni-Man take off just as much as the Mark cover did. But I think coming off of the animated series, Omni-Man was so popular with people who were just newly exposed to the property. I kind of had a feeling this cover was going to take off.
I have to agree with you on
Just
that.
they wait till they see what else happens to Omni-Man and the rest of the series. It's such a good series. He's such a great character.
Yeah, it's such a big story. I mean, they just scratched the surface of Invincible. I mean, it goes really buck wild. It's a really big story. It's he really does good world building with Invincible. If you think you know the story, it goes on, and they're going to be doing it. Can't wait for season 2, man. I just watched Super Crooks, man, and I thought that was absolutely fantastic on Netflix. I finally finished it. Now that was a great anime. But this is obviously on Amazon. So Invincible #1, the Tyler Kirkham Whatnot Omni-Man gold foil, limited to only 150. $1,700 for a raw dog. How you like them apples? All right. What do we got up next?
All right, number 7 here. We got My Little Pony Friendship is Magic #3. It's okay to put this down in the chat if you guys have it. Don't be ashamed. This is good stuff. So Friendship is Magic #3. This is the J. Scott Campbell retailer incentive. Finally, an entry for all you bronies out there. J. Scott Campbell is immensely popular amongst comic book collectors. Many of these fans actively seek out to own every cover he produces, though there are many that are truly difficult to find. This My Little Pony cover was never considered to be one of those until it started drying up last year, to the point today where one of the last copies on eBay sold for $100 raw.
Yeah. When we think of J. Scott Campbell, we think of how do I say this? Curvaceous covers, right? Yeah. So for him to do My Little Pony, it just boggles my mind. You know what I mean? So I think it's a combination of bronies, you guys are out there that are collecting it, and I think J. Scott Campbell fans who are like, you know what, this is a rarity, because normally he's all about the buxom figure of a woman. Like if you think about his Black Cat covers and all the other ones that he's done. Somebody's like saying hot horses. Yeah.
Like I said before we got on, that I was proud about this list because I have 6 books. This is one where I probably have 10 copies of this book.
Look at that.
I'll expect that in the mail as well. All right, thank you.
Super proud to say
it's
that.
It's a Donkey Show cover.
It was, well, this was one. This was one when I noticed it for everything that Tivo just said. The fact that it was more of a J. Scott Campbell fandom play, but I've always been really respectful of other people's fandoms. So no, I get teased. No, I'm not a brony, but at the same point, I understand that community exists. And
huge, yeah.
And so once I saw this one, which plays into that community, but at the same time, if you're a J. Scott Campbell collector, this is probably one that you were not aware of, or one you don't see too often. And we know the nature of collectors; they've got to get them all like Pokemon. So this was when I started grabbing up. You used to be able to buy this book for like $5 because My Little Pony fans, they didn't know or care who J. Scott Campbell was. So it was in a box at a con. it was oftentimes still sitting there. Now that sucker is gone. But for the
Not
record,
anymore,
I have
yeah.
a short box full of My Little Pony variants, so I will sell anything.
There you go. So all the brony conventions are crazy things, man. There's a lot of them out there. So never underestimate fandom of any sort, especially if they find out there's a comic book that's hot. They all go out and snatch it up. So My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. Oh, issue number 3, J. Scott Campbell for $100. A raw dog. Not bad at all. All right, Otto, what do you got next?
All right, we like this one right here. It's She-Hulk number 58. This is the Greg Horn 1 in 50. 2012, this came out when Red She-Hulk first appeared in Hulk 15 in 2009. She was instantly popular, right? By issue 58 of the She-Hulk series, it was retitled the Red She-Hulk. For the first several issues, many of these variants have been exceptionally difficult to find, starting with this Greg Horn 1 in 50 variant. This variant's dried up into collections over the past 10 years and rarely resurfaced for sales, although one copy sold last week for a new high sale of $1,100 for a CGC 9.8. I've never seen this book. This is dope. Holy cow.
What am I doing wrong with my life? Damn it. Jeez. But I don't know. I like my She-Hulk a little bit buffer. You know what I mean? I mean, this one is a bit more.
She-Hulk.
Yeah. I like the buffer green She-Hulk, even when she's not like Savage, the version that you see now where she's like can barely speak. But even when she's more bulked up. But Greg Horn does his thing, man. So
Yeah.
Red She-Hulk number 58, 1 in 50 from 2012. We talked about this every week on the Shaker Show. About in 2012 was somewhat of the dark ages of comics where print runs. People weren't buying as many comics as they are now. So 1 in 50s. How many shops are ordering 50 of anything to qualify for this?
Only the big shops like Midtown and places like that, because nobody had 50 subscriptions of Hulk.
Correct.
2012,
exactly. And I'm trying to remember in 2012 what if there was one of those weird qualifications where you had to like order 50 of something that didn't even have to do with Red She-Hulk, right?
I think that's before they started doing those required tier.
Okay, so this is basically order.
But you gotta look at it like, man, this was the Hulk issue number 58. So you're talking way up in a run. They should have renumbered this to a number 1 if they really wanted to push this. You're talking about Red She-Hulk, and then it's 50 copy incentive. This had all the makings of being a scarce book from day one. I remember this was really popular back in the old school Google Plus days. This was a speculator bet way back then, so it's cool to kind of see this one come to fruition.
Yeah, I remember when Red Hulk came out, he was all the rage. I mean,
I loved it.
I had I forget which cover it was. I forget. I'm bad with my memory, but Red She-Hulk number 58, the Greg Horn 1 in 50 for 2012, breaking $1,100 and a 9.8. Good for you. All right, this one is a weird one.
Definitely. We're talking about Spider-Man 2099 number 35 from Marvel in 1995. And key comics at the intersection of Spider-Man, Venom, and the multiverse are enjoying explosion of interest as many roads converge around Black Suit Spider-Man and Venom's introduction into the MCU and the Spider-Verse characters such as Spider-Man 2099. Big keys like Marvel's Superheroes Secret Wars number 8, Amazing Spider-Man 252 and 365 appear on the CovrPrice Shakers list regularly these days. An original drawn page by Mike Zeck from Secret Wars number 8 even sold for $3.36 million, bringing renewed aftermarket interest to the comic for which it was drawn. Well, here's a comic that has it all. Spider-Man 2099, number 35. The first appearance of Venom 2099 sold for a record high of $350 for a graded 9.8 this week. In this issue, Kron Stone, who first appears in the Punisher 2099 number 1 sleeper book, becomes Venom 2099 and battles Spider-Man 2099. The variant cover is also fantastic and a 9.8, sold in late December for $188.48. Collectors interested in this comic may also want to pick up the cool connecting cover from issue 36 in the series, featuring both Venom 2099 and Spider-Man 2099.
Yeah, I got that connecting cover. That thing is great. It's a Jay Lee cover. It's really dope. Back when he was still doing that crazy 90s Jay Lee style.
Yeah, I think any first 2099 is a good bet because I think they can do an animated universe of just 2099 titles. I really think so.
And it'll be interesting to see post Spider-Verse if there's interest in that. That could be very well a conversation.
Yeah,
I would repeat, Punisher 2099 is a sleeper book. It's $1 everywhere.
Yeah, with the horrible costume too. I do not dig that costume that he has in that.
But you've got. I mean, to compare it to Venom, it would be like having the first appearance of Eddie Brock in that book. It's certainly not.
Isn't there a Doom 2099 as well? I'm trying
there
to
is.
think.
That's a
book.
great
Yeah,
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
There is. Yeah, that's the best suit he has.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think if Sony can work with Marvel to do a Doom, but there's sure enough Spider-Man and Venom stories to do a 2099 version. I mean, he's already been introduced. If he does well in that new movie, why not spin off into his own Spider-Man 2099 film where they could just really flip the lid? I mean, we've seen crazier things already happen with Spider-Man into the Spider-Man Far From Home. So Spider-Man 2099, number 35, the Spider-Man 2099 cover. So next up on the list when this book came out, there was some controversy about it, and interesting to see this book pop back on here.
Oh yeah, this is a great one. Spider-Woman number 1, the Milo Manara 1 in 50 variant from 2014. The Spider-Woman number 1 variant cover from famed artist Milo Manara is one of the more controversial ones released by Marvel Comics. Critics note the blatant sexualization of the character, while his defenders say that it is unfair to criticize Manara for creating art that was and is definitive of his style. Of course, what Marvel expected by hiring such an artist to begin with. Regardless, collectors are definitely interested in obtaining copies. This particular variant recently saw a record CGC 9.8 sale of $610 and $695 respectively. There are currently no raw copies for sale through the usual outlets.
The only thing I have close to this is I actually have the Penthouse comic magazine that this is an homage to. He did look it up, Penthouse Comics, Milo Manara, and there's a character he does in that almost exact same pose. And so I'm gonna say this is an homage cover that he homaged himself. So great list. Spider-Man number 1, the Milo Manara 1 in 50 from 2014. You don't see this book anywhere in the wild. Any shows or anything, you don't see them anywhere at all. But don't go anyway, boys and girls. We're going to be right back after our word from our sponsor, My Slabs, and we're going to see what's shaking today.
Tired of paying 10%, 15%, or more to sell your cards, comics, and digital collectibles? How does 1% sound? Too good to be true? Well, not anymore. MySlabs.com is the web's premier user-driven marketplace for buying and selling slabbed cards, sealed wax, and now slabbed comics and digital collectibles. So the next time you're forced to pay 10% or more to sell something from your collection, head over to MySlabs.com and join the 1% revolution.
And speaking of My Slabs, they're doing a Hulk 180 giveaway. You can win a Hulk 180 8.5. All you have to do is follow MySlabs_comics on Instagram, like and share the post, and the winner must have a MySlabs account. I think the contest runs to February 15th. I will drop a link directly to that post in the live chat. So, but if you're on Instagram, just look it up. This post was about from 6 days ago. So just follow MySlabs_comics on Instagram, like, share, all that good stuff, and have a MySlabs account, and you can win this here bad boy as well. So let's go see what's shaking today, boys and girls, and see how the marketplace is shaking things up today, if as the kids say. Hold on, look at this. Look how fast I am now. I'm amazing.
I like how they worded that. First ever appearance of Wolverine on last page. I mean, that doesn't get any more politically correct. I don't know what does, man. Oh
yeah.
My God.
All right, let's go.
If you ask me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's what it says on the labels too, I think. So yeah.
Yeah. Cameo versus first appearance. It's whatever the market dictates. So there you go. But yeah, go follow him on Instagram and get a chance to win that. I'll take that bad boy. All right, let's look at top 10. I have 3 of these actually, but these are the movers, most units sold. I just sent this Moon Knight off to get slabbed too, by the way. I I should have sent my Darth Vader too, but I don't know. I'm still holding off on seeing a black chrysanthemum to see what chrysanthemum, as as we say. All right, so these are the shakers for today. Oh, I got one of them. I got my Hulk on there. Avengers. Okay, look at this. This is a raw dog that sold for $7,000.
Oh,
This is one of the last affordable Marvel keys, too.
Used to be.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember you can get it like a 3.5 or for like $2,000, $3,000.
I remember when I was working at Torpedo, we had copies of these all over, and nobody cared. Like everybody was ignoring Daredevil.
Yeah. Highest known value was March 31st, 2020, $250,000. Whoa, dog.
For a 9.8, which is interesting because you never see 9.8s of these Silver Age books. Like they never exist. It's impossible to see 9.8s of this. Always 9.6s.
Can't have a Shakers list without Star Wars book. First appearance of Ahsoka Tano outside Star Wars canon. Somewhere Justin is smiling from ear to ear. Because graded 9.6, not even a 9.8, sold for $4,414. Wow. Let's see what the highest known value. 9.8, $16,000, boys and girls. That is the power of Star Wars on Disney Plus. Just look at how the Wookiee and Dr. Aphra dominated our top 10 list I don't want to spoil anything, but at the end of the Book of Boba Fett yesterday, there was a particular theme song they played right at the end, which tells me somebody is coming if you paid attention. So that is going to be incredible if that actually does happen. Look at that. Somebody's buying up some Silver Surfer books.
Waiting for Galactus, waiting for Silver Surfer and Galactus books to explode. That's going to be fun.
So first appearance Silver Surfer, 2000 and a 3.5. I have a 7.0. I have an 8.5.
Wow.
You bastard. And I have this also. Actually, mine are almost linear from 48 and 49. One is a 7.0, one's a 7.5. So
there you go. Love it.
Yeah. Full disclosure, I heard from 2 independent sources that there's a project coming from Marvel called Galactus and His Heralds.
Love it.
And it was interesting when I heard it from one person, but when I heard a second person who knows nothing about comic books, but they work for a separate company that works in Hollywood, and they basically told their father, "Hey, does Galactus mean anything to you?" And he's like, "Yeah, there's some type of working title called Galactus and His Heralds," and then there was another source that backed that up. So, yeah. I don't know if it's a Galactus origin story. It could be a way to introduce Silver Surfer as well. So there's 2 ways to look at that. This is one of my favorite covers of all time. Just classic. Oh yeah, classic. This is the reprint too.
That's the Golden Record.
Yeah, this is
the
Golden
Record
Record
underappreciated book. This needs to. I feel that this book is so undervalued. I know it's expensive, but still.
Yeah, this and the Journey into Mystery Golden Records reprint, I think all those are starting to pick up because people are getting priced out of the regular versions. But I'm at $9.95 for raw. Let's see what the.
I mean, even for the original, I think it's still undervalued. It's expensive, but the original is still undervalued.
I mean, because it's still an old book. I mean, $3,800 for $3,800 for 9.8 for the Golden Records reprint. Hey, we were just talking about She-Hulk, man. I was telling you, I like She-Hulk like this. Boom. Yeah. I think one of Stan Lee's last creations, if I can recall.
Correct.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right.
First appearance of She-Hulk, 9.8. That is grossly undervalued to me. $1,200 for a 9.8. That
plenty of meat on that bone still.
Oh yeah. As soon as it's like they need to see a live action trailer for people to believe that she's coming. That's basically how you guys work. Here's one's interesting. Look at this. Good old Comic Cavalcade.
Oh, those are fun books.
Yeah, hold on. Either my internet's slow or CovrPrice is slow right now. Could be both. Everybody's on CovrPrice right now looking at these. Come on. Come to daddy. There we go. This is the Comic Cavalcade, a galaxy of America's greatest comics featuring Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and The Flash. $7.99 for a raw comic from
Santa
DC.
Claus in the bed?
It looks like it.
Yeah, they're being his elves.
They're making toys. Yeah. Why not just have the Flash make all the toys? He can do it faster than everybody, right? Everybody else just relax.
And Green Lantern can't do anything with wood, so why is he over there working on that sled?
Oh, look at the big brand. That's some geek points right there, man. Look at this classic. Yeah, something is slow. Hold on.
Yeah. But look at that second appearance of Iron Man right there.
Yeah.
Look at that sports almanac. We were kind of talking about earlier about going back into time and buying comic books, and that sports almanac is from the Back to the Future movies.
Hold
they
on.
did the same thing.
Why is it's CovrPrice slow for you guys too, or is it just my connection?
I'm not even on it at the moment.
Yeah. Did I break the CovrPrice website? But there we go. It's a little slow. Checking my own connection. Classic. Who was the model again? She was
Louise Simonson.
Yeah, Louise Simonson is who they modeled her after.
That's so cool.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah. She talks about that. If you ever get a chance to meet her,
in a lot of her interviews, she says, she was the model that they used for this back in the day in 1971. So Louise was smoking hot back then, boy. $6.83 for a raw dog, not bad at all.
And a great comic book writer.
Yep. What she did with remember, was it X Factor? Louise Simonson? Yeah.
New Mutants for a while.
Yeah. Hold on. I got to bring this book over.
I know.
There you
love
go.
this cover. Absolutely love this cover.
Right there, though.
I got two of them. First Doctor Strange Solo Series, 7.5, 760. $10,000 for a 9.8. Holy cow. I can remember when this was only like a 9.8 was $1,000 book, $10.50 or something along those lines. So good Lord have mercy. Speaking of Sports Almanac, let's take a look at this. This is the Back to the Future variant, I do believe. And it features Gray Sports Almanac, 600 and graded 9.2. We were just asking about, so we had this conversation, and you guys chime in the live chat, and what would be the ramifications if you can go back in time and buy comics, and think about the ripple effect that would have caused. I mean, Gabe said, well, what if Kevin Feige never bought his Fantastic Four #1 because we went and snatched them all up where he bought it from? Or like if we went back and we bought like a bunch of Amazing Fantasy 15s right off of the newsstand or whatnot, and then all of a sudden, in real time, they would have disappeared off people's collections. And also, think about this. If you travel back in time to buy comic books, make sure you have the right currency. You have to get currency for that time period. So if you go back to the year 1950, make sure you have dollar bills from 1950. Or if you're I thought about this because I'm building a time machine as we speak. No, I'm just kidding. But, here, this is cool. Look at this. Transformers number 80. Anybody know, is this the first appearance of that Junkion? Is that the Junkion samurai guy? Junkion? Or why? 9.8 for $600? Whoa. Any Transformers experts in the house? Can you tell me what the
number 80 in a 4-issue limited series? Look at the top. Look at that.
It's like it kept on going and going and going.
Maybe just because it's the last issue, maybe? I don't know.
No, the last issue is I thought it was like 110 or something. Oh, no, that's G.I. Joe that was. Maybe that's
G.I. Joe. That's a hard issue to find, too.
Yeah. So if anybody, last in series, huh? Okay, maybe I'll go with that. Maybe so, but yeah. I like the Defenders last issue ever too. That one's a cool cover, as well as the Marvel Team Up last issue. I like that one as well. So that's just another part of side collecting that people do, and we always got to do pre-code horror on here. Look at this.
Love this stuff.
Wonder parents were like, I can't have little Timmy reading these books when he was 6 years old. Good Lord. This is Crime Suspense Stories number 16 from EC.
Number 22 is my grail. I want to Crime Suspense Stories 22 more than anything. I'm
500. Well, let's look at it. Let's go at 16. Hold on. 17. You just click on the little arrows here, boys and girls, giving you a quick and dirty tutorial.
Look at that when they're getting drowned under the water. These covers were ridiculous. It's so great.
Look at this.
I would love this. Just the history behind this.
Is that what they did the Wolverine cover from?
It is, yeah. Just the history behind this, and like William Gaines, the owner and publisher of EC, going in front of Congress, all jacked up on meth, trying to defend his comic book. It's great. It's just a great historic thing in there.
Your grail is $5,400 in a 5.5 that just sold like 5 days ago.
I can make it happen.
There you go. Make it happen, Captain. And we need proof of life on Instagram too, by the way, when you do it. So all right. But damn,
it's gonna take a lot of type O negative blood to get that to happen.
Tim, go to the Vader when you go down. I just realized I found this in one of the long boxes I was digging through. I was so happy I bought
Oh,
it.
the Alex Ross one?
Oh,
Yeah, I love this book.
let's see if it's noted on here yet. Yep, first appearance of Black Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum, is that what they say it? 525 for 9.8. This is, of course, the Alex Ross 150.
There's a pencil sketch variant too.
Yeah, I'll go down to the bottom
really?
where you can see all the variants here. You referring to this one?
Yep.
Yeah, there's a blank. Remember when there used to be blanks every month? You rarely ever see blank covers anymore. It's kind of a sad state because people got blank covers for commissions, and you can't go to many cons anymore, so there's not many of them. But good God, how many variants were there for this?
Oh, there was a lot. When these Star Wars books were
25.
coming out.
This was a great run too. This was a
Yeah.
good story.
Adi Granoff. I have the regular first print. Let me see the black and white one. Let me see this one. This one is dope too. I think
The
this
Comics
is
Pro incentive.
Yeah, look at that one.
That's a tough one to get. That's another one of those ones that they handed out to retailers if you were signed up for that kind of event.
There's some pretty
You had to
great.
be there.
There's some pretty great covers on here.
The
I used to have.
variants are my favorite.
I used to collect all the action figure variants. I'm surprised that nobody's jumping on this one because John Tyler Christopher and that, but we'll see now. That
I love
people know.
the connecting Scotty Young variants he did for these.
Where is that one? Which one is this one? Right
there, yeah. Because he did one for Star Wars and another one for Princess Leia, so it was like a 3 connecting cover.
No,
Yeah.
really? Okay.
The most unique Star Wars cover I had was the one done by Sergio Aragones. You remember that? He actually did a cover for Star Wars, and I saw him at a show, and I actually had him sign it. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, Sergio Aragones. He doesn't charge for signatures, and he'll just talk you up. He's such a cool guy. I think I saw him at WonderCon the last time I was there. Here is a Journey into Mystery book, but it's not the one you want. This is 89, still good though. Thor's origin story retold, 535. Good Lord have mercy. I always thought about sending this one in to get graded too, man. First solo appearance.
I have one sitting at CGC right now.
Yeah. First appearance of Moon Knight in a solo series. 510 for raw. Okay, now I definitely got to get it graded. 3,500 for
raw. $500. Yeah, it's worth grading. Jeepers.
Oh man, now I got to find them. Damn it. Oh jeez. Here you go. This is gnarly too. Quality Comics, The Man Who Died Twice. Good Lord have mercy. Spine-tingling tales of mystery and suspense. That is like the stuff of nightmares. If I was like a kid and saw this, I would be like, look at how crazy. First appearance of the Shocker. No, I'm just kidding. Remember that movie? What was that movie with the guy that they tried to kill? Was it called Shocker? Yeah.
The Shocker. Yeah, and he turned into electricity. He went through like everybody's like wires and come out of like the electrical tubes and stuff.
Yeah, that is hilarious. Look at this. Here's some more. I love seeing these old covers from 1944. Look at that. Jumbo Comics. Jumbo Comics number 66. Just anything Golden Age or Rare Silver Age, EC, Pre-Code Horror. Just get it. People are what disposable incomes are definitely on a nostalgia kicks right now.
That seems to be the next step after everybody kind of picks up their modern bronze, Silver Age keys. They start going to like the Pre-Code Horror. They start checking that stuff off the list, and it's great. There's a lot of great stuff. There's a book out there everybody could check out called The 10-Cent Plague. It's an actual book, like a prose book, and it's all about that era of comics and like the book burnings and the trials. It's really cool if you like comic book history.
Seduction of the Innocent, right? Yep. So this is the speculation, I guess, that some people think that they're wrong on, is they thought that Ethan Hawke was going to be the Sun King. So this is the first appearance of the Sun King. I think there's still a chance. I think Harrow is a misdirection. I don't think Marvel will purposely put his name in subtitles on a trailer. Because Marvel is famously known for like digitally altering things in their trailers and not give away too much. So I think maybe he's not that character, because that character Harrow, I forgot his first name. He appeared in one comic and died. So talk about obscure. It's one of those things. First appearance, first and death in the same comic. More Moon Knight on here. Look at this one. First and only appearance of Dr. House. Speak of the devil. This is his first appearance, Dr. Harrow. First and only appearance of Dr. Arthur Harrow. $405 for 9.6. So
Wow.
Who knows? I think there still may be meat on those bones if you have them. Also, I would think Mr. I think is it a Dark Avengers cover where the first appearance of that version of Moon Knight, where it was he called Mr. Moon Knight or something? But correct me if I'm wrong. But
Oh, I have it. It's a white cover.
yeah, it's a Secret Avengers cover. And they're in
like
all
walking
snow.
away from the city. Yeah, they're walking
Yeah,
away from the city.
yeah.
I just looked at it.
Oh, this is dope. I like this. We Live from Aftershock Comics 2020, the Inaki Miranda NYCC metal variant. That is dope. $3.90 for 9.8. So there's a while there metal variants were all the rage. I don't know about now though. I just found I have the first issue of this, but this is the Adam Hughes version when Marvel rebooted. I had the original Miracle Man from, I forgot it was it. Eclipse Comics? Eclipse Comics. Yeah, I just found it in my boxes when I was going to go through what I wanted to get graded. And of course, Boba Fett is hot right now. Come on. First appearance of Boba Fett. First full comic appearance of Yoda too. So an 8.0 for 341.
Double
$5,000 for 9.6. No, my goodness.
Oof. Missed the boat on that one.
Yeah.
You and I both, man.
I love that Art Adams Scarlet Witch right there. He draws the best.
Yeah, I had this
women
somewhere.
ever.
Yeah. By the way, this is a great story if you ever read it. It's a 12-issue maxi series, the Avengers Children Crusade. One of my favorite stories of the modern era.
Yeah,
well,
that's the follow-up to Young Avengers. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
They've reprinted it in trade recently.
Yeah, it is a great read. And I think a precursor, if they do a Young Avengers story, they could definitely do the Children's Crusade story what really drew me, I'm a huge Jim Chung fan, and in the Eternals art in there, Jim Chung absolutely just kills it. One last book, look at that, more weirdness, tales of fantasy and suspense, phantoms of reality, the ship of death, cremation of evil, puppet pulls the strings. Good Lord, that's a mouthful.
I like how the skulls kind of lay out the pathway to the house.
Oh yeah.
So she can't be mad that she's getting chased by a zombie. There's plenty of warning right there that house could be messed up.
Exactly. All right, boys and girls. So I hope you enjoyed the Shakers list. That was a very unique list, and hope you scored like Jack did, 6 out of 10. Cough, mail, cough, mail. Just subtle hints there. All right, boys and girls, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll be back. I'll be back on Sunday for Letters and Long Box with Mikey Sutton, where we're going to answer your viewer questions and have some more cannonballs and scoops for you. So it'll be Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific. Otto, any last words?
No, I'm glad I was able to join in tonight. You know what I mean? We got the 3 bald men and TiVo in the house. That was fantastic. Check out 3 Men in the Basement tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. We've got a huge event announcement that you're not going to want to miss. We've got our friends from Spineworks and Capture Collectibles joining us. So tomorrow night's going to be a great show. 3 Men in the Basement, 8 o'clock. Can't wait to see everybody there. So
does it have to do with an interview with somebody?
No. That's next week. That's next week.
Why don't you promote that?
So if you guys don't know, I've been working with a new YouTube channel called the Steve and Semino Podcast.
Gabe knows him.
Last night we interviewed Steve Englehart for almost an hour and 10 minutes, and it was absolutely fantastic. And that will be dropping next Wednesday at 8 o'clock on the Steve and Semino podcast. So go check that out. And he talks about Marvel greatness and how the 70s were truly what the 70s were about. Okay. So you got to,
if you don't know, really Steve is the giant buff bald headed guy that works at CGC Comics. Torpedo.
Yep.
Excuse me. Yep. Torpedo. And Semino is Roy Thomas's manager, correct?
John Semino is Roy Thomas's manager. And myself and Roger and 3 Men in the Basement have been helping him out. And they are just comic book historians. There's no speculative talk. It's all deep comic book stories from Bronze Age to Silver Age. They did a deep dive into an amazing Avengers run. They talked about Nova. So please check it out if you want to hear great backstories from true collectors. So good stuff. Thank you.
I actually had Otto ask him about Special Marvel Edition number 15. So
yes, very interesting.
Steve Englehart is the co-creator of Shang-Chi. So peep that out. Jack, any last words?
Oh, no, appreciate everybody. Definitely highlight of the week coming on here and rocking with you guys.
I appreciate it, brother. Gabe, any last words?
Yeah, thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for having me on. Thanks to all my other bald and four-eyed brothers on the show. So if you guys want to follow me, you can hit me up on Instagram, Gabe Loves 90s Comics. And I also am a seller on Whatnot, and that's under Ninja Comics. So hit me up there. see what's up. We could chit chat and all that kind of fun stuff.
You may see me doing some Whatnot stuff soon. I don't know. I may be doing some stuff with Whatnot. You know, I'm selling comics or maybe just talking, you know, because there's a live stream and we can do some stuff. So you never know, man. You never know what, man, TiVo and Lords pop up on a Whatnot and you'll be like, Whatnot? What the hell? Anyway, but for Mr. Bolo, Gabe Loves 90 Comics, Otto from the Grotto, this is TiVo. I wish you having a great weekend. I'll see you Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific for the Letters of the Long Box. Remember, go back to the video we did on Thursday if you have a question for Mikey and I, and post it in the comment section, and we'll get to it. But till next time, boys and girls, keep digging in them long boxes, and peace out.
Now let's do this! Rewind, select and come again. Pull up that from the top to the very last. Jump.
Who are you to make their lives bitter in hard bondage? In this you shall know that the Lord is faithful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, do it! We're here! We're back! Word up! Can't do a job! You can't get fresher than this! In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 5 greatest heroes. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
When it comes, I won't even notice. Oh, how so? I'll be too busy looking good.
You can't understand.